The Amish have been growing food for generations. Not just food, thriving, abundant gardens. Their methods? Simple, natural, highly effective. No chemicals, no fancy gadgets, no artificial shortcuts. Yet their vegetables grow bigger, stronger, and healthier than most modern gardens. Why? Because they work with nature, not against it. They understand soil, plants, and the delicate balance of ecosystems in a way that most people today completely overlook. The truth is, gardening doesn't have to be complicated. The Amish keep it real, simple, traditional, and yet their results are nothing short of impressive. So what's their secret? A combination of smart techniques, deep-rooted wisdom, and a whole lot of patience. Below, you'll discover 15 powerful Amish gardening hacks that will completely change the way you grow food. These are secrets passed down through generations, things most modern gardeners don't even think about. By the end of this, you'll wish you had learned them sooner. 1. Wood ash, the free fertilizer you're throwing away. Picture this: a cold morning, the smell of fresh bread baking. An Amish family gathers around a warm, crackling fire. They burn wood for heat, for cooking, for survival. But they never let the ashes go to waste. Why? Because wood ash is packed with nutrients. It's full of potassium, calcium, and magnesium, things plants absolutely love. But there's more. Sprinkle it around your plants. It keeps pests away. Slugs, snails, and even some beetles hate it. The texture bothers them. They won't cross it. But there's a trick. Too much ash? Not good. It makes the soil too alkaline. The Amish know this. That's why they use it sparingly, especially near crops like potatoes, tomatoes, and berries. Next time you clean out your fireplace or fire pit, think twice before tossing the ashes. 2. Companion planting, the secret to healthier crops without chemicals. The Amish don't waste time spraying pesticides. They don't need to. Instead, they let nature do the work. It's called companion planting. Some plants just grow better together. Others, they fight like bad neighbors. For example, tomatoes and basil. The basil repels pests and actually makes the tomatoes taste better. Carrots and onions. Onions keep carrot flies away. Carrots help loosen the soil for onions. Corn, beans, and squash. This one's famous. It's called the Three Sisters method. Corn acts as a trellis for beans. Beans add nitrogen to the soil. Squash covers the ground, preventing weeds. It's all about balance. Some plants protect others. Some plants feed others. The Amish understand this instinctively. They plant with intention. No random guessing. And their results speak for themselves. 3. Seed saving. Why the Amish never buy seeds at the store. Imagine this. You plant a garden. Your vegetables grow strong. You pick the best ones. Then, instead of buying new seeds next year, you save the seed from the healthiest plants. That's what the Amish do. Year after year. No hybrids. No GMOs. No corporate seed companies controlling their food. They focus on heirloom varieties. These are plants that stay true to type, meaning their seeds will grow the same way next season. Modern seeds? Many of them are designed to fail after one planting, so you have to keep buying more. But the Amish? They break that cycle. Their gardens? Completely self-sustaining. Want to try it? Start with easy crops. Tomatoes, peppers, beans, squash. Just dry the seeds, store them in a cool, dark place, and plant them next year. Simple, smart, powerful. 4. Manure, the original super fertilizer. Forget chemical fertilizers. The Amish use manure. Cow manure, horse manure, chicken manure. It's all gold for their gardens. But here's the thing. You can't use it fresh. Fresh manure is too strong. It can actually burn plants. That's why they let it break down for months before using it. Once it's aged, it becomes rich organic compost. full of nutrients, full of life. The perfect plant food. The result? Lush, green plants that grow like crazy. 5. Raised rows, the trick that changes everything. Ever notice how Amish gardens have perfectly neat, raised rows? That's not just for looks. There's a reason. Raised rows. Drain better, no waterlogging. Give roots more space. They grow deeper, stronger. Warm up faster in spring, earlier planting. It's a small change with huge benefits. Try it. Instead of planting on flat ground, mount up your soil into rows about 6 to 8 inches high. You'll notice the difference almost immediately. 6. Cover crops. Nature's way of rebuilding soil. The Amish never leave their soil bare. Ever. In the off-season, they plant cover crops like clover, rye, alfalfa. Why? Because cover crops fix nitrogen, prevent erosion, and keep weeds away. Then, in spring, they till them into the soil. Instant organic compost. Soil stays rich, strong, full of life. Most gardeners skip this step. That's why they struggle with weak soil year after year. The Amish? They never have that problem. 7. Mulching. The Amish hack that saves time and water. Mulching is everything. The Amish use it everywhere. What do they use? Straw, dried leaves, grass clippings. It does 3 things. Stops weeds, no sunlight, no weeds. Holds moisture, less watering. Feeds the soil, organic matter breaks down over time. Want a low-maintenance garden? Mulch it heavily. 8. Hand pollination. How the Amish get bigger harvests. Bees are great, but they don't always get the job done. The Amish? They pollinate by hand when needed. For crops like squash, cucumbers, and melons, they use a small paintbrush or their fingers to transfer pollen from one flower to another. More pollination equals more fruit. Simple as that. 9. Crop rotation. The Amish never plant the same thing twice in a row. Pests love routine, so the Amish never plant the same crop in the same spot 2 years in a row. Rotating crops confuses pests and prevents soil depletion. Each year, they move things around. Corn goes where beans were. Tomatoes go where lettuce was. It's a cycle. It works. 10. Observing nature. The Amish's biggest secret. More than anything, the Amish watch and listen. They pay attention to the soil, the weather, the insects. They don't force things. And that's their real secret. They respect nature. When you work with nature instead of fighting it, that's when your garden thrives. So next time you step into your garden, slow down, watch, learn. The plants will tell you everything you need to know. You just have to listen. 11. Using chickens for pest control. Forget chemical sprays. The Amish have a natural, living pest control system. Chickens. Chickens don't just lay eggs. They're expert bug hunters. In the early morning, when insects are most active, the Amish let their chickens roam the garden. The birds scratch the soil, eating pests like grasshoppers, beetles, slugs, caterpillars. It's a win-win. Fewer pests, healthier soil, happier chickens. But here's the trick. They don't let them roam all the time. Chickens can also damage plants if left unsupervised. So they use chicken tractors, portable coops that let the birds scratch in specific areas without destroying crops. Modern gardeners? They spend hundreds of dollars on pest control. The Amish? They let nature do the work. 12. Planting by the moon. The Amish follow ancient wisdom. Sounds old-fashioned, right? Planting by the moon? But the Amish swear by it. They believe the moon's cycles affect plant growth, just like the tides. Here's how they do it. New moon to full moon. Best time to plant leafy greens, lettuce, spinach, kale. Full moon to new moon. Best time for root crops, carrots, potatoes, beets. Waning moon. Perfect for pruning, harvesting, and composting. It's not magic. It's science. The moon affects moisture levels in the soil, just like it does the ocean. The Amish have been observing this for generations, and they trust nature more than a store-bought calendar. 13. Homemade natural fertilizers. Amish gardens thrive without chemicals. The Amish don't buy chemical fertilizers. They make their own. One of their favorite recipes? Comfrey tea. Comfrey is a fast-growing plant loaded with nutrients. They chop it up, soak it in water for a few weeks, and then use the liquid as a fertilizer. It's packed with nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, everything plants need. Other natural fertilizers they use: eggshells, crushed and sprinkled around plant for calcium. Epsom salt. A sprinkle of magnesium boosts plant growth. Banana peels, buried in the soil to feed potassium-hungry plants. No expensive store-bought solutions. Just smart, natural gardening. 14. Cold frames. Extending the growing season without a greenhouse. Want fresh vegetables even in the middle of winter? The Amish do it without greenhouses or electricity. They use cold frames, simple wooden boxes with a glass or plastic top. These act like mini greenhouses, trapping heat and protecting plant from frost. With a cold frame, they can grow spinach, lettuce, and carrots all winter long. Best part? You can build one with scrap wood and an old window. It's cheap, easy, and effective. 15. Deep mulching. The Amish way to build rich, healthy soil. One of the biggest secrets to Amish gardening success: deep mulching. They don't just sprinkle a little mulch on top. They lay it down thick, sometimes 6 inches or more. Why? Because deep mulch suppresses weeds naturally. No need for chemical herbicides. Locks in moisture, less watering, even in dry weather. Feeds the soil. As it breaks down, it adds organic matter. Over time, this builds soft, rich, black soil, the kind that holds nutrients and grows plants like crazy. Want a thriving garden without constant weeding and watering? Try deep mulching. It's one of the Amish's best-kept secrets. Final thoughts. The Amish approach to gardening is pure genius. The Amish don't chase the latest gardening trends. They don't rely on chemicals, expensive tools, or artificial shortcuts. They rely on nature. Their approach is simple, time-tested, and incredibly effective. They build their soil instead of depleting it. They use plants, animals, and natural cycles to manage pests and boost growth. They work with nature, not against it. And the result? Stronger, healthier plants, bigger harvests, less work in the long run. Modern gardening has overcomplicated everything. The Amish remind us that growing food doesn't have to be difficult. It just takes patience, observation, and respect for nature. So next time you step into your garden, try one of these Amish gardening hacks. You might just wish you had learned them sooner.